Hi, Gabby. What brought you into my office today?
I just had kind of a rough week and I thought I'd come in and debrief a little bit because, it's kind of rough. So,
Tell me more about that.
well, earlier this week I got in a car accident with my two younger sisters and a friend in the car. We were driving home from church and I was going like up a hill and around a corner and I just slid off the road and we rolled the car 3 times and ended up in the ditch, and it was just really scary. Like, my younger sister didn't have her seatbelt on and we were all like really like rattled from it. Like, it took me a good 10 minutes after it happened for like me to just realize that like we're all okay, but it was just crazy. Like, after it happened, like, my sister, I grabbed my face because I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, and just to be like, it's okay, it's okay. But yeah, it was just really freaky.
Yeah, that does sound like it would be really scary.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that maybe you have a little bit of feeling of guilt because you were the driver and you had an accident.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel a little guilty because, I had my younger sisters in the car, and like I didn't make sure that they all had their seatbelts on, and I had a friend in the car, and it wasn't even my car I was driving, so yeah, I guess I do feel kind of guilty for being like really careless, having other people in the car, and like for not respecting the fact that it wasn't my vehicle.
Yeah, so you did get in an accident and it wasn't your vehicle, so there might be a little anxiety over that because it is not your vehicle and the owner may uh, be mad about it.
Well, it's my dad's car, so he wasn't like overly mad because he was just really glad that we were okay. But I mean, I do feel kind of bad about like wrecking his car, and it was pretty new still, and like this is not the first time that I've like wrecked his vehicle before. Like, one time I backed up into the garage door and like shattered the rear window, and like I backed up into my dad's Bobcat before, and I've hit the ditch a few times and like almost hit a deer once. So I just feel like very careless that I'm like taking it for granted, I guess, that like my dad's provided me with a vehicle, but I'm like, yeah, like abusing it, I guess. But it's kind of weird because like every time that happened, he was like so like merciful to me. Like, when I backed up into my dad's Bobcat, I was like freaking out because I cracked the bumper in the car, and like we had just got the vehicle like a month before, and like I told my mom about it, and she told me I'd tell my dad, but he was just like, it's okay, like we'll have to get it fixed, you're gonna have to pay for it, but it's okay. And like when I smashed the window, he's like he cleaned it all up for me and like let me take my mom's car to wherever I was going. Like, I just feel that he's very merciful for me, to me, like out of all these times. And I feel like this time, like when I rolled the car, I totaled it completely with people in the car, and like I was in the car, so I don't know. I feel like he should have been more mad this time because I actually like destroyed it, but he wasn't. So
Yeah, it sounds like you have a very good support system. Can you tell me more about that?
yeah, like my parents are very supportive, and like even after the crash, um, like I went up to my mom right away because she's like kind of like the comforter, and I was like really scared, and she was like, it's okay as long as no one's hurt. And then like I went and apologized to my dad, and like he was saying like, you can replace a vehicle but you can't replace your kids. So that kind of made me like realize, I guess, that, I mean, it's a big deal, but I understand why he wasn't as mad at me. So, but yeah, they're very supportive.
Yeah, that's really good to have a very good support system, especially when you were in an accident and you were speeding too fast and did slip and you did have passengers. That could be a very scary experience. And sounds like that support kind of helped you get through this. If am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, I think it would have been a lot worse if any of us were hurt, especially since, like, for my parents, like,
Excuse me, sorry.
it's okay.
I have a cold.
For my parents, like, my older brother passed away a few years ago, so I think, like, if anything did happen to me or my younger sisters, like, it would have been so much worse for everybody, and, like, a lot more guilt on me because it would have been my fault. So I just think, like, my parents were just really, like, grateful that we had, like, guardian angels watching out for us this time because, I mean, if anything happened, it would have been so much worse because of what happened to my brother, so.
Yeah. So it sounds like family is really important to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, they're gonna love you forever no matter what you do. So, yeah, they are pretty important to me.
That's really good to have.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about how you feel that you affected your family members when you caused the accident?
Um, how I affected my family members?
Yeah, like, do you feel that they blame you for it, or they still carry guilt towards it?
I don't. Well, I mean, it was my fault, so I do have some blame in it. But I don't know. Like, they seem to be like very supportive of me, and like, I don't know, just like really grateful of the whole situation that everyone is okay. And it's kind of like for my family, it's kind of blown over now. But for the other friend that was in the car, she's actually my sister's friend. Like she keeps bringing it up all the time, so it's kind of been annoying for me because like she like tells everybody and like posts it all over Facebook and like keeps bringing it up even though it happened like a few weeks ago. So that's kind of annoying. But as for my family, like I think it's kind of blown over and yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have a little bit of strain with this relationship with that friend. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, she's like I said, she's my sister's friend, and I mean, I'm a lot older than well, I'm a few years older than her, so I think like we didn't really have a good relationship to begin with, just because I'm my sister's older sister, but yeah, like when I asked her like about why she keeps bringing it up, like I think she does it out of like she wants people to pity her, or like she wants people to like feel bad for her because she was in this car accident. Like she was in the back seat and she had her seatbelt on and everything was fine for her. Like this is kind of silly, but like I feel like it should have been a bigger deal for like me. Cause I was the driver and like most of the damage happened to the driver's side, or like my sister who didn't have her seatbelt on. But like for her, she's like making it all about her. And like I understand it's probably still scary for her, especially like somebody else is driving like that. I can imagine how that'd be pretty scary, but I feel like, I mean, we weren't hurt and it wasn't as big of a deal as it could have been, so it should just be blown over by now. But for her, she just like keeps bringing it up. But what can you do?
So you feel that she's trying to get the like kind of trying to be an attention grabber when it comes to the situation and won't let it go when you feel that you should be able to let this go and not have it be brought up and kind of not be embarrassed by it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want people to think I'm a terrible driver and I have this really bad reputation, but I mean, when she just keeps bringing it up, then people will know. I mean, so I guess it's kind of embarrassing, but also like she's younger, so I can understand why she's in that phase where she wants attention. But for me, like, I mean, I talked to her about it. I was like, hey, like, why do you keep bringing it up? And she said, like, why don't you keep, like, she wants it to be a bigger deal than it is or it has to be, so.
Yeah. So you were in a car accident and you have one of friends that was in the car. Who keeps bringing it up? Is that about right? And
Yeah,
that's kind of really annoying for you because, well, she keeps bringing it up and you just kind of want it to be dealt with at this point in time.
yeah.
Is there anything else that about the car accident that could be bothering you?
I don't know, like, I feel like what I did was really careless. And so, like, I feel like I should have been in more trouble for it than I was, like, because my parents were so merciful towards it.
Sorry.
And, like, I don't know, like, all my friends were really supportive when they saw it all over Facebook. But I feel like, I mean, this is a really big learning lesson for me, like, for in the future. Like, I really need to, especially since my older brother passed away, I really need to be there for my sisters, and I really need to, be a good role model for them, like, driving and not driving. So it's a very big learning experience for me to, like, be more, careful. And, yeah, but, yeah, I think that just the biggest thing for me was that, like, I feel like I should have been in more trouble than I was, but, I mean, my parents were just so supportive, but I guess it's also good because then I would have felt a lot more guilty, I think, if they were more mad at me. I don't know. It's a learning experience for me. I'm just, like, really glad that everyone was okay.
Yeah. Can you tell me more about why you feel that you should be, like, I guess, punished or blamed more for it?
Well, just maybe because like since I mean I don't have a very good like record when it comes to like everything I've done to the vehicle, so I feel like I don't know, it would have been more engraved into my head if like the past times I was in trouble more. Just I don't know. I just feel like I deserve to be punished, even though I wasn't. But maybe like the guilt is punishment enough. Like I don't know. Maybe just that experience was punishment enough. I just like hope for the future that like I really take this into consideration when I'm driving, especially with like my sisters and other people. Like it really sucked. Like right after it happened, like my best friend Andrew, his parents like wouldn't let him drive with me for like a week because of this, and like they think I'm really irresponsible. I'm like, I don't really think I'm irresponsible, but I mean I need to be more careful. So yeah, so that like kind of offended me when his parents wouldn't let him drive with me. But now it's like blown over, so like they don't really care as much. But yeah.
Yeah, so if I'm getting this correctly, it sounds like you learned a lot from this experience, and it's going to help you be more, I guess, responsible in the future with driving and be more cautious and courteous.
Mm-hmm.
Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So I'm just going to do a little summary here. So you were in a car accident and you were the driver, and unfortunately you slipped on some black ice and caused an accident, and you had some passengers, which caused you a little bit of guilt because one wasn't wearing a seatbelt. But everyone thankfully wasn't hurt, and you had a very good support system from that. Correct?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, thank
See you
you.
next session.
Bye.
Welcome.